After a few years of closed doors, Fire Station Number 2 held their first open house yesterday. Ian Tidswell has the story.
The open house is in conjunction with Fire Safety Week, which is celebrating its 100-year anniversary. This event offers opportunities for one-on-one time with firefighters. Learning about the tools and gear they use is really a thrill for the little ones, and the opportunity to share is a real thrill for the firefighters.
Exciting to see everybody back in the station. The last one we had was the fall of 2019, so it's very important for the Lloydminster Fire Department to have that community connection, to get to know the people that we serve. We're proud to serve our community. We're proud to be engaged in our community and all the different events, and this is one event where we can open our doors and have the public come in and meet a firefighter, look at some of the gear that we have, look at the trucks. And again, we're just willing to work within that community and work with them. So it's very exciting to see the crowds that we're seeing. So,
an interactive display outside let kids try their hand at using the fire hose. The adorable little fire hats seem to be a real hit as well. Every year, Fire Prevention Week has a theme, and this year's is Fire Won't Wait, Plan Your Escape. So handouts and discussions on preparedness plans were top priority.
Just emphasizing the theme for 2022 for Fire Prevention Week is Fire Won't Wait, Plan Your Escape. So again, just want to stress that message of having that escape plan for your family and for your loved ones to have that safe meeting space and have that plan to get out of your home if an emergency does happen. So.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Ian Tidswell.
A school community council consisting of family members from students who attend Winston Churchill School have been meeting up once a month to provide more opportunities for parents to get involved at their school. With in-person learning slowly making its way back, the SCC hope to create more activities for the students and parents to engage in. Our Shelby Clark has more in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
Staff, along with the SCC, are excited to bring back certain activities and events for parents to get involved in.
We do anything from hot lunches to school dances, movie nights, family fun nights, any kind of thing that we can help bring people into our school, our families into our school, and help them feel engaged and part of the community that is beyond just communicating with their classroom teacher. Just gives it a real community feel and making sure that our families feel comfortable within the building.
During the peak of the pandemic, the council got used to handling things from a distance and doing it online. The council is now seeing strong support once again and trying to bring the Winston Churchill community back together.
We actually had a few new members join our SCC this year, and the commitment is anything from showing up to hand out hot lunch, which might only take 15 minutes, to sitting in a meeting and partaking and giving your input and ideas, to coming and helping run a concession at a school dance or a track meet or something like that. So we are open to any level of people's commitment, and we welcome any new members that would love to join us.
The SCC was designed to create a healthy environment for Winston Churchill School. It gives parents a chance to voice their perspective on the needs of the community and suggest different ways they'd like to be engaged in at their children's school.
Kids love to be able to show off their school. They love to have their parents in the building. They want them to be able to engage. So when they're talking about what's happening at school, at the supper table, they can all engage in that conversation. I know my own kids, they love when mom and dad can come into school so they can show off their learning and show off what they do every day. So it's a special time for, even if it is just delivering hot lunch, they're like, oh, that's my mom or dad, so it's great to have them in.
And that's it in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
At Lakeland College, our students go beyond the classroom for immersive, hands-on learning experiences. It's about experiencing the real world, because the real world doesn't wait, and neither do we.
And now it's time for us to check in with Shelby Clark, who has a look at weather on this windy day.
so much, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, very windy day today here in the border city. Kind of continuing on from yesterday for sure, but even stronger winds. Seeing that 50 kilometers an hour winds coming in from the northwest. You know, it's pretty rough out there. Even if you are standing outside or driving, you will be feeling those strong winds. So please be careful and also layer up because you're going to need it. It is feeling a lot more cooled down. We are just seeing 9 degrees right now here in the border city with a mixture of some sun and cloud. We have seen a lot more sun peeking out behind those clouds throughout the day, but it hasn't been helping too much. Some slight heat when you are standing, under it, but it is still feeling a lot more cooler. So please make sure you are layering up because we are seeing some fall temperatures here this week for sure. Switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, most spots are just seeing that 10 and 11 degree mark over on this side. So seeing just a couple degrees warmer compared to us here in the border city. Seeing that 9 in St. Paul as well as we go over to Edmonton. They are looking the warmest with that 13, and down in Provost just at 12 degrees. So not looking too much cooler on this side compared to yesterday. Still kind of seeing the same conditions. Looking on Saskatchewan side here, they are looking slightly cooler compared to the Alberta side. Most are still seeing that 10 and 11, although we are seeing those 9s here for St. Walburg, Meadow Lake, 6 up in Isle of Cross, so definitely seeing the coolest up there. And we go a bit lower, they are seeing 11 in North Battleford and 12 down in Macklin, so not looking too bad in those areas. But for North Battleford, they will be going down to low of -2 for their evening low tonight. So seeing those minuses, unfortunately, slowly making their way back here. At least they're single digits, though, so not quite at that -30, 40 yet. So I think we're all pretty grateful to be slowly moving. North Battleford will be looking at 14 tomorrow, seeing a nice, beautiful day at 14 with a mixture of some sun and clouds, so a little bit nicer compared to today. Cold Lake will be going down seeing 11, tomorrow. So seeing not too bad of a day for Cold Lake tomorrow. Seeing that 11 and seeing a mixture of some sun and clouds. So still seeing a nicer day for Cold Lake tomorrow. So not going to be looking too badly here. And now looking over here for Cold Lake, now seeing it will be going down to low of -2 for tonight for Cold Lake. So also seeing that minus mark, still a single digit, but I think, it's a little bit better than what we are expecting. And for us, doing another one for Cold Lake. Okay, here in the border city, we are going down to a low of -2, so we will be seeing that as well for tonight. Seeing that single digit, slightly cooler, but a little bit better, so just make sure you are having that heat on instead of the AC. Then looking at 14 tomorrow, so seeing a lot more sun and seeing a slightly warmer temperature. So hopefully it won't be as windy, and it looks like it won't be there with that 15 kilometers an hour wind, so we'll get a nice break. And now ending off with looking at some viewer photo submissions. Thank you for everyone that submitted some nice shots. This one is from our dear Heather Clagus. Gorgeous shot of that trail there, seeing all the nice leaves. And this next one is from Chrissy. Thank you. Love seeing that moon in the sky. And that's all I have for now. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Now that we're into October, various cattle producers are preparing for cattle sales and shows throughout the fall, all across Western Canada. With more, here's Thomas Wildman with this week's Cattle Report.
Well, hello there, everybody. We're here at Black Gold Cemitals, 30 minutes outside of Lloydminster, which is going to be the site of the Evolution sale featuring genetics from Black Gold Cemitals and their partners Greenwood Cattle. I got the opportunity to talk to Toby Noble of Black Gold Cemitals and Jaden Payne of Greenwood Cattle about the sale coming up this Thursday.
Well, we've been kind of working with the Payne boys for quite a few years now and have become pretty good friends, and I think it's something that we always had in the back of our mind that we would one day kind of have our own female sale together as we both kind of grow our numbers in our cow herds. So I guess it was just kind of a matter of time, and we finally just kind of bit the bullet and said it was time to do it, and it's been a lot of fun, that's for sure.
There's 50 lots in the sale, 20 of them will be ours, 30 black gold. So we got 5 heifer calves that'll be like show quality heifer calves that we hope junior members or people will take on and show at these fall shows coming up and into next year for 4-H projects or junior projects. And then there'll be 13 bred heifers for the Angus side of things, and then a semen lot where we'll sell some semen on kind of one of the hot new young sires in the industry.
Of 8 heifer calves, kind of like Jay said, they're halter broke and show ready, and calves that could go on and make junior projects for kids, and then hopefully kind of make some donor females down the road. So yeah, there's a group of heifer calves there, and then we've got 22 bred females on offer as well. Yeah, it's really exciting, and it's a lot of fun to kind of get everyone out and to interact. And these past couple of years, we've been lucky with an early harvest, I guess, in our area, and guys are kind of starting to wrap stuff up in the fields, and they're starting to have a little bit more spare time. So yeah, last year was a lot of fun having guys come out, and once again, it's just that face-to-face interaction, I think, that makes this industry so fun and good to be a part of. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing who's going to come out here this week.
And now a look at your cattle prices from Northern Livestock Sales here in Lloydminster. There was 4,450 head of cattle on sale. The prices were young cows were 110 to 125, D1 to D2 cows were 100 to 110, D3 cows were 80 to 90, slaughter bulls were 130 to 157. And now looking at good steers, 300 pounds to 400 pound steers were 325 to 340, 400 pounds to 500 pounds were 285 to 320, 500 pounds to 600 pounds were 265 to 285, 600 pounds to 700 pounds were 250 to 265, 700 to 800 pounds were 245 to 255, 800 pounds to 900 pounds sold for 235 to 253, 900 pounds to 1,000 pounds sold from 210 to 235. And then for good heifers, we had 300 pounds to 400 pounds, they were 240 to 260, 400 pounds to 500 pounds were 225 to 245, 500 pounds to 600 pounds were 225 to 233, 600 pounds to 700 pounds were 215 to 230, and 700 pounds to 800 pounds were 210 to 225, 800 pounds to 900 pounds were 210 to 222, and 900 pounds to 1,000 pounds were 190 to 215. 1,000 to 1,200 pounds for good steers and good heifers was not available, as well as butcher steers. And now look at some cattle shows. Earlier this month was Olds Fall Classic, hosted by the Olds Regional Exhibition, and a few of our local breeders attended that show, including Black Gold Livestock, and it was a very successful show, and a few of our local breeders had a very good time there. Then later on, at the beginning of November, will be the Stockade Roundup, hosted, of course, by the Lloydminster Regional Exhibition. They, of course, are going to have lots more coming up. Entries are open, and we'll have a bit more on that coming up in next week's report. And then following that is, of course, the big Alberta show, Farm Fair International. That'll be from November 9th to November 12th, and the champions from the Olds Fall Classic and the champions from Lloydminster Stockade will be present there for the Alberta Supreme. And that's going to do it for this week's Cattle Report. For Primetime Local News, I'm Thomas Wildman.
And now let's take a look at today's agriculture prices. The Lloydminster Bobcats were looking to get back on the right foot with a game against their close rivals in the Bonnyville Pontiacs. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
The Bobcats are sitting in the middle of the Northern Division in the AJHL, with the Pontiacs sitting in second place. The Pontiacs came out of the gate strong with a lot more chances than the Bobcats in the first period, but goaltender Freddie Hillick made some key saves to keep the Pontiacs off the board, ending the first period 0-0. In the second period, the Pontiacs scored within the first minute, but a crucial Ryan Schindel shorthanded goal tipped the momentum in the Bobcats' favor to tie it up, with Matthew Swanson scoring later in the second and early in the third to give the Bobcats a 3-1 lead. The Bobcats had the game all wrapped up, but the Pontiacs scored 2 with the man advantage with an empty net. This game needed overtime. It was a back-and-forth effort through the first few minutes, but the Bobcats got a lucky break with the Pontiacs tripping call, which gave them the man advantage. However, the Bobcats then got their own penalty, which then evened it up, and the Pontiacs would end the overtime period with a man advantage. However, just as the Pontiacs got the extra man, a lucky turnover led to Brock Krulicki scoring to get the win. It was Krulicki's first AJHL goal in his first AJHL game.
I know it feels good to get that first one in the first game for sure. The boys came together tonight, and we got a team win there. Halleck played huge for us, and Swaneeberry too, so it was a big team effort tonight and a great win.
The Bobcats got a huge win against one of their biggest rivals in the Bonnyville Pontiacs. They will then look on to keep on this momentum when they go on the road to take on the Blackfold Bulldogs this Friday. For Primetime Local News, I'm Thomas Wildman.
Now, while the Bobcats generally use their legs to skate on the ice, this time they use their legs to play a different sport today. Players from the Bobcats were at Ball Colony School Wednesday afternoon for a soccer match against the grade 5 and 6 students. Some notable Bobcats players that were on the field include captain Ben Bygrove and forward Matthew Swanson. As part of Saskatchewan School Sport Week, the team says this is one way of showing their appreciation for sports in the province.
It's a great opportunity for us to show that engagement and to show why it's important and how easy it is just to grab a ball, get outside and boot around, go run and have some fun. And the smiles we see from this is what drives us along to keep growing.
It's good to get to see the kids, get to see how excited they are, and we're excited as well. It's always good to spend time out there with them, and you get to see a kid out at school, and then maybe you get to see him at the rink at a game, so it's pretty cool that way.
Saskatchewan School Sport Week will go on from October 11th until the 14th. Looks like a fun morning out there for the kids at that Bar Colony School, but the wind was pretty strong today. Is it going to last? Let's find out more with Shelby Clark.
Thanks so much again there, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking another extended look at your weather forecast. And to answer your question for that wind for tomorrow, it should be cooling down quite a bit. It should be kind of relaxing now. You know, today it's been pretty crazy with that windy day here in the Border City. So hopefully we won't be seeing that too much tomorrow, but it should be cooling down, kind of just not being too much windy as we were seeing for these past couple days. So that'll be a nice break. But going over to our central zone of our provinces here for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, we are seeing slightly warmer conditions than what we were looking at yesterday, even with seeing that 14 and 15 in some areas over on this side. Jasper even is sitting at 17, so just a few degrees off of that 20 mark. 13 for Whitecourt and Edmonton, while Athabasca is just reaching 10, so not looking too bad on our Alberta side for today, I would say. But going over to our Saskatchewan side, they have looked a lot more cool down, especially compared to yesterday, with most spots now sitting at that single-digit mark. 7 and 5 even in Melfort and Prince Albert, so definitely looking a lot more cooler in those areas. Meadow Lake is just at 9 degrees, so they're matching with us here in the Border City, and we go a bit lower to North Battleford and Saskatoon, just seeing that 11 degrees. So definitely looking slightly cooler on our Saskatchewan side for our central area. But going over to our northern zone, they are definitely beating us with those cooled down temperatures. Seeing that 1 for most spots here with Wollaston Lake, Uranium City, and Flin Flon. 3 degrees for South End and up in Stony Rapids, and seeing that 6 for Laloche and Buffalo Narrows. So looking a lot more cooler on our Saskatchewan side in our northern zone for today for sure. They are almost even reaching those minus marks. Going back to our Alberta side for our northern area, they are looking slightly cooler compared to yesterday as well. These areas, we're seeing those single-digit marks yesterday as well, so they are still kind of seeing those same conditions with that 7 and 8 for Fort McMurray and High Level. 4 degrees in Fort Chipewyan, so Fort Chipewyan has been seeing the coolest conditions compared to the rest. And we go a bit lower, and they are back to those double digits. 10 for Slave Lake, 12 for Peace River, and Grand Prairie seeing the warmest with that 15. But going over to our southern zone now, they have cooled down to almost match with us in our central zone and our area zone, especially on our Alberta side. 17 in Banff, is 13 and 14 in most spots here with Lethbridge and Calgary. Medicine Hat is seeing the warmest with that 15, and it is 12 up in Coronation. So they have cooled down by a few degrees. They were seeing closer to that 20 mark yesterday, but now they're matching with us, so now we're even. And going back to our Saskatchewan side for our southern zone to end things off here, they are seeing some double digits in most spots in their area here on this side, but Yorkton is seeing the coolest with that 3 degrees. So seeing that single digit in Yorkton, seeing most spots with 10 and 11 over on this side, and Moose Jaw is just at 12 degrees. So not looking too bad on our Saskatchewan side for at least in our southern zone. But now looking at temperatures overnight that we can expect, we are seeing those minus marks. We were seeing those plus temperatures before, those single digits. So we were seeing that low of 0 to that 1 mark. But for tonight, we will be expecting a low of -1 to -2 in most areas in the surrounding area and here in the border city, unfortunately. -2 that most spots will be expecting in these spots as well for Pearson, Unity, and Wainwright. Low of -1 for Mirnam, and we will be seeing that low of 2 for Calgary. So going to be seeing some definitely some cooler temperatures for tonight, so make sure you got your furnace on instead of the AC. I know I had to switch mine over. I was freezing one time, and now I'm fine. It's always that slight adjustment you got to fix up. Jace agrees with me. Ending off with our 7-day forecast here in the border city. Get ready. We will be seeing hopefully a little bit more sunshine coming up for the rest of the week with 14, 15 Thursday and Friday. Cooling down, unfortunately, for the weekend on Saturday and Sunday, although we will be expecting a mixture of some sun and cloud. Then don't worry, starting off next week on Monday, getting to 18, so almost that 20 mark once again, then seeing that 9 and 12 next Tuesday and Wednesday. That's all I have for now. Our Jace Mackey will have our news coming up after the break. Joining us today for Primetime Local News is Janice Huyen with 100 Women Who Care. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, Janice.
Thank you so much for having the time to share with us and to speak with us too.
Of course, no problem. It's really important to be able to speak with you and help get the word out there because this year's 100 Women Who Care event for the Lloydminster area is coming up on October 19th. So I really want to be able to speak with you and be able to, get this word out now a little bit ahead of time. So for people who aren't aware of this organization, can you kind of expand on what you all do at 100 Women Who Care?
Absolutely. So there's a group of us, and we're hoping more will join, but we take 100 women or more, and so far we've had up to 300 members. And we get together 3 times a year, and at each event we donate $100 each, and then we donate that money to a nonprofit that we have chosen that night.
I know throughout this pandemic, it's really changed up things quite a bit, of course. So is there anything different that's going to be happening for this year's event?
Well, I think we're just super excited now to be able to get back into giving and to see people in person. We kind of took a break during COVID, and so we're just so grateful to be able to be doing our events again. And so we just can't wait to see everybody and get back to giving.
And you're going a little bit into it with the previous years for the events for 100 Women Who Care. And I know your organization was posting about this, on Facebook and online about some of the previous sponsors and how much was raised. So can you kind of let us know what the total was raised for other nonprofits in Lloydminster?
Absolutely. So we have raised over $150,000 at our 7 events so far before COVID. And we've given quite substantial donations to quite a few charities locally. So such examples as Inclusion Lloydminster, Lloydminster Sexual Assault Center, Residents in Recovery, Border City Connects, Battle River Ranch Camp. We gave to Snowflake Respite House Foundation. We've given to quite a few different charities in our community, and it's truly incredible to see just the impact that 1 hour and over 100 women can do, and just to truly see how that can impact local nonprofits it's just so empowering.
Wow, and that's really great to hear about how much was raised for those nonprofits and seeing how strong that support is, especially from 100 Women Who Care, able to help support other nonprofits here in the border city. And I'm sure they're pretty grateful for you guys, so that's really amazing. Now, have you seen some strong support from others in the city already for this year's event?
I think as far as our community members and our response from the community has just been great. I think people are just so ready to just get back out there and just have an evening that just makes you feel your heart so full, and just to really give back is just something that I think our community needs again right now, especially after the hard times we've all been through.
And from your perspective, especially with you being one of the co-founders for 100 Women Who Care, why do you believe this nonprofit is just so important to have here in the border city?
I think it's just truly incredible to see the impact the women in our community can have in surrounding areas, and just that we can actually start connecting again with one another. I feel like lots of times we've lost that connection. We're connected digitally, but we're not connected personally as much. And so just to really build that connection and also build awareness about the different nonprofits that really could use our support, whether it's by, our donations or just volunteering or any other ways that we could help support the nonprofits and just learn more about them. I think that's what is so great about our organization.
Well, I'm glad we're able to speak beforehand before this, event comes up here. And I know you're going to be seeing some strong support because it's really amazing to help get the word out and know what 100 Women Who Care can really do here in the community. Now, for people that want to help support or maybe even want to join in with 100 Women Who Care, where can they go online just to be able to find some more information?
So you can definitely check us out on Facebook. We have an active Facebook. We have Instagram, and then we also have our website, which is 100womenlloyd.com. And you can definitely check us out there. You can become a member, or if you want to just come to our event and see what it's all about, we'd love to have you. And if you're not quite sure what it's about and you just want to check it out and come see for yourself and just feel the giving, we would love to see you at our next event.
Amazing. I'm really glad we're able to speak, Janice. And once again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm joined today by Courtney King. She is the recruitment and enrollment supervisor for Lakeland College. Now, Lakeland College is hosting their open house on October 21st and 22nd at both campuses. This year's event returns to an in-person format, and we'll start with that today. Courtney, how exciting is it for Lakeland to be able to host this open house in person?
We are really excited to have it back in person. The thing that Lakeland does the best in all of our different programs is the hands-on learning piece. And so being able to showcase that and do it in person and have students see our campus and visit our residents and interact with our instructors is very exciting. And we are happy to finally be able to do it back in person.
All right, Courtney, I'll get you now to take us through a little bit about who this event is for and what those people can expect when they attend the open house.
So this event is essentially for any student that is looking at coming to Lakeland, whether it is in the winter of 2023, or any student that's looking to come next fall, or even just students that might be interested in the next couple of years if they're in grade 10 or 11. This is a really great event to come to get a better feel for what Lakeland offers, the programs that we have, and what it's like to be a student at Lakeland.
And for prospective students that are coming to the open house this year, is there anything new that they'll be able to see that, be it buildings or programs, things like that?
So new this year, and it was just recently opened, is our Mead building. So on our Vermilion campus, we have a new home to our agricultural science classrooms, environmental science classrooms. So we're really excited to be able to share that information or share that building with new potential students to see the great space they'll get to learn in.
Now, can you go through a little bit about what the schedule is like? Obviously, the open house is taking place over 2 days, but it's kind of open for people to drop in when it works for them.
Yeah, so the open house begins at 9 a.m. on Friday, October 21st, and goes until 3 p.m. And then it happens again on Saturday from 9 to 3 on both campuses. So during the day, there's a variety of different classes on Friday that students can sit in on. So if you want to see what a psychology class really looks like at Lakeland, you can do that. There's different tours throughout the day. When you arrive on campus, you will be able to see all the different things that are offered on that particular campus at different times. And so depending on the program you're interested in or what you're there to see, we will have something and a time for you to be able to do that. One of the really nice things that we've added this year is a student services section. So a small presentation at 11:30 both days on both campuses from our admissions team and our financial aid team. So giving students information that they're going to need no matter what program they're going to be going into.
And would you see a value for students going to both campuses depending on what they're interested in?
It depends on the student. So if they're deciding between different programs on different campuses, then definitely checking out both campuses is going to become a great benefit. If a student is unsure about what they want to take, then by all means, we'd love to see you at both campuses. But because our programs are situated on specific campuses, if students know exactly what they want to look at or what they want to see or which program they're interested in, then they can come to just one campus and get all the information they need.
All right, and I understand that Lakeland is looking for people who are interested in coming to RSVP. How can people do that?
If you go onto our website, this lakelandcollege.ca, on the main page there is a link to our open house, and that will have all of our schedules, all the things to expect while you are visiting us. And there's an RSVP button there. And so as we come closer to the day, we will let you know different events that are coming up, or if anything changes, we'll be able to let you know, and then also remind you about parking and free applications, all those sorts of things.
And is there anything else regarding the open house that we didn't talk about that you feel like is important to get out there?
During our open house, we have free applications. So it allows students to save that $90 application fee. If you come on campus, we'll have our admissions team there to help you walk through the Apply Alberta process, which for some students can be a challenge, and our admissions team can walk you through while you are with us. And so that is one of the really exciting things, is that saving yourself that $90 makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great to know about that. And great to know everything that's happening at the open house. It's exciting to see this in-person event return to both campuses for Lakeland College. Courtney, thank you so much for talking with me today. Wish you guys the best of luck next weekend.
Awesome. Thanks, Jace.
Ending off with taking another quick look at your 7-day forecast. We will be seeing some nice days for Thursday and Friday to end off the week with 14, 15 with a mixture of some sun and clouds. So we're going to have some beautiful fall days ahead. So make sure to get out there and enjoy it. Get some nice fall photos. Then Saturday, Sunday, going to be cooling down to 8 and 11. So unfortunately, going to be seeing some a much cooler weekend than what we saw last weekend. But, you know, we are heading into the fall season, so just be prepared. But don't worry, because then we're going to have some confusion Monday next week. Starting off, seeing that 18, so we're going to get teased a little bit with seeing a warm day on Monday with closer to that 20 degrees. Then we're cooling it right back down again next Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, thank you so much for that forecast, Shelby. And thank you all for joining us for Primetime Local News. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.